What's up everyone, Nathan Larsen here, and in this video I'm showing you how to edit a vocal in Logic Pro 10. So we're gonna just jump right in. I've got this vocal that I just had recorded last night from my singer, Ether, and he layered in a lot of different things. All you can see here are all vocals. Okay, so we've got some vocals that were doubled, we've got some harmonies, and you can see how I have labeled everything here. So I've got the lead vocal, verse 1A, verse 1B, which also is verse 2, and a couple other things. I just, for simplicity, when we did this session, just want to have some things labeled out. So if you are new to using Logic, then a couple things you need to know about. One is that when you track a vocal, if you just record over it, it's going to create a take folder. So you can see all these are different takes that we had done. A lot of these first takes was me getting a level on him, but still recording that as well at the same time. So the first thing that we need to do is create what's called a comp, okay? So this is where we basically take the best parts of each section and then pick which take we're gonna use for each of that. So let's just go ahead and listen to what we've got here right now. Just this first verse, and then we'll just go ahead and jump right in.
I can see the day break, I don't wanna be late to tell you how I really feel. I can see you waiting, but I keep on hesitating, and I can't say the words to tell you that I love you, tell you I can't stop thinking about you. It's killing me slowly. Oh, it's all inside my head.
Okay, so pretty good overall. Really what I'm looking for when I'm recording with a vocalist is good articulation, good dynamic, good expression of what the words are. The pitch is obviously important, but pitch is really easy to fix with the tools you have available. And if you're using Logic, you've got Flex Pitch built right in, which I do have a video for. I'll have it in the card above, as well as linked in the description on how to use Flex Pitch. But the main thing I want to focus on here is how to actually edit the vocal and pick the right takes and some of this stuff to get this all exactly what we want. The first thing you need to do is figure out which take I want to use. So let's just listen to this.
I can see the day break, I don't want to be late.
Listen to take 12.
I can see the day break, I don't want to be late.
There just wasn't as much energy and expression there, so that's why I went with take 13. We're not going to listen to all of it for the sake of brevity. But the next thing that I would do, let's just assume that I have figured out that this is the comp I want to use. I'm going to go up here, click on this button here, and I'm going to go to Export Active Comp to New Track. Okay, and I'm going to actually label this takes. That way I know. And then if I click and hit Control M, it'll mute this track, so that take folder is now muted. And I'm going to go in here, Ether, verse 1, lead, unedited. And I always do that way I know if it's been edited or not. Once it's totally edited, I'm going to title this something like Ether verse 1A. And then it's all caps, so that lets me know. But for now, it's unedited. So then what we can do is actually open this up. I'm going to show you two different ways you can edit. One is you can edit without Flex Pitch. The first thing we want to do is start trimming some things. So you're going to want to make sure you have advanced editing enabled. The way you can do that is click Command, comma, go to advanced, and show advanced tools, and then enable advanced editing as well. So if you do not have that enabled, you'll want to enable that. That's going to make it so you've got multiple tools you can see here. So if I hit Command, it will now use that middle tool, which is the scissor tool. My regular is pointer. So if I just click and start dragging this around, I can move it. But if I click Command, I can make a cut on that audio and I can delete that. Okay, so we're going to want to get rid of this audio at the beginning. It's not necessary. So that's what we'll do, is just go in and start getting rid of some of this audio that is unnecessary, where there's actually nothing happening.
To tell you.
Okay, so he says to tell you.
To tell you how.
So I don't want to cut that off. Oop. But I do want to cut that off.
How I really feel.
And it looks like that kind of cut off. So I want to drag that out. So if you go to the top of the region here, in the top half, right at the edge, that's the loop tool. If you go to the bottom, that bracket, you can actually extend out this. So you can always just shorten it or expand it. Okay, so let's listen to that. Cool. And then it goes on to the next part. So just that's the first thing, is you want to just trim everything up so it's nice and clean. The next thing we're going to want to do is make sure that the timing is really spot on. This is huge. This is one of the bigger overlooked aspects that I hear in amateur recordings are the timing. So you can do this manually. You've got this grid here, which I have set to 16th notes. I'm actually going to change this to 8th notes. You can do that up here. If you don't have this enabled, you can just click this button. So the chances are you just have showing beats and tempo. Click here, go to custom, it'll show you all this stuff. And right in here is where you can start adjusting the division that it'll show you on the grid. So what we can do is just line things up on the grid in here, and you can just use the scissor tool.
I can see the day.
And actually, this is triplet feel, so I'm gonna go to 12.
I can see the day break. I don't wanna be late.
So this word here is late. So you can move that here. And then what you'll do is just drag a little bit of that audio so it creates a very small crossfade. This is gonna remove any clicking or popping noise, okay? So that's the first way. You can literally go in and just start manually cutting and splicing and moving things around, okay? I'm not gonna do it that way. I'm gonna show you how I'll do it. On a lead vocal, I do it this way. On doubled vocals in harmony, this is not how I do it. I do it the way that I just showed you by cut and splice. So I'm gonna turn on flex.
I can see the.
And then you can literally grab this and move it.
I can see the day break. I'm
not worrying about pitch right now. I'm just worrying about timing.
break. I don't wanna be late. Wanna be late.
So notice that this is moving the audio, the waveform.
Be late to tell you how I really feel.
And then what I would do is go through the whole thing and get this all lined up. Now, you do not want to overdo it. It's really important that your takes are actually good to start with, because if you have stuff that's just all over the place, that's not rhythmically accurate, this is going to be very difficult to do, and you're going to start having issues with it sounding more artificial. So the better of a take you can get to start with, the better you're going to be. So a lot of what we focused on in the recording session was getting the feel right, getting the timing right, getting the articulation right. The pitch is obviously important, but all that stuff is super easy to fix. We can fix the pitch very, very easily. And again, I made the video on that you can check out. Okay, so let's just move on to some of these doubled moments, because that's where I want to show you a little bit more about how to editing these doubled vocals.
This conversation, it didn't happen.
Okay, so you got this whole thing.
And now I'm sitting, and now.
So let's just do this much. I'm just going to kind of cut this out. So this conversation didn't happen.
This conversation, it didn't happen.
So the first thing I need to do is figure out which takes I want to use, or if I'm going to make a comp. Okay, so again, I'm going to create a new track, export active track. So we're just going to do this part for now to keep things very simple. So ether, chorus, B, unedited. Now, I'm going to edit this first before I start jumping into editing the background vocals. And actually this I might.
This conversation, it didn't happen, and now.
It's pretty darn good. Good, so that's really good. Now let's go ahead and listen to what this would sound like with the first octave, so you can hear what this is.
This conversation, it didn't happen.
Now, the nice thing about doubling vocals like this, like the octave up or the octave down or anything like this, you can kind of get away with a lot more because it's in the background. That's not to say that you can get away with garbage, but you can get away with more. So I'm not going to be as concerned about the takes, but I still am going to listen.
This conversation, it did. This conversation, it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think take one's better.
It didn't happen.
But take two is better, or take three is better there. Now what I'm going to do here, sometimes I do this, I'm just going to go ahead and flatten, which is going to actually delete the other takes. I'm only doing this because it's a background vocal, so I'm not as concerned. I'm going to turn flex pitch off. Now this is where things get a little bit different. What I'm going to do is zoom way in, so I'm doing command and arrow key down to make this bigger, and then command arrow key in to zoom in. So you can see right here the waves are not totally lined up. So what I'm going to do is go in and just start making sure that they are perfectly lined up And like this is the start of that word, and this is the start of that word. You can see he actually saying this part a little bit longer. So I'm gonna do this. And guess what? You're gonna be able to get away with it. Check this out. You're not gonna be able to tell. And then that looks good. And then you can tell here, this is off. I'm gonna do that. So the crossfades are gonna help a lot just to mask. And I'm cutting actually on this. This is like just an S sound, like a sibilance. So if I do it like this, it's not gonna be. So there you go. You can get away with a lot. And I want to make sure that this ends right at the same time. It lines up. There you go. And then you can see this word is not lined up. It didn't happen. There you go. And then it's just going to sound so much better. I'm going to put that down. This is late. Did it happen? That's a little early. Late is always better than early. There we go. And then what I'm gonna do is change the pointer tool to a fade tool. I'm gonna add little fades here. This is just again gonna make sure that there's no clicks or pops or anything like that going on. So a big part of this is just cleaning things up. I'm gonna do the same at the top here. And now notice how much better this is gonna sound. This conversation, it didn't happen. This conversation, okay, so like that, something sounds off to me. Yeah. That's a little better. Okay. And then again, like this isn't mixed, this is just a rough, so this would be turned way down. This conversation, it didn't happen. You almost want to feel it more than you want to hear it. And then I would do the exact same thing to this other one. So what I did is panned it hard right, hard left, the same thing. This conversation, it didn't happen. So then I'm going to go in and exactly the same. I am going to edit. This color is kind of throwing me off. This conversation, it didn't happen. That sounds a lot better. Super clean, much more articulate. And so once we start tweaking the pitch, that's where the magic is going to start happening. Because right now it still doesn't sound as good as it needs to. And that's where the pitch editing is going to happen. So, but the main things here, if you are fixing a lead vocal in Logic, you can use flex pitch to adjust the timing. You can obviously use flex pitch to also adjust the pitch, which is in a different video, not for the point of this video. But then beyond that, editing other vocals like the harmony, doubled vocals, editing to the lead by cutting and splicing, using the fade tool, using crossfades, getting rid of the excess, because all that excess, so like even here, you can see, so this is a breath. Until I zoomed in, I thought that I would have needed to get rid of this, but that breath adds a lot of character to this. I want that. But other areas where it's like dead space, you want to just get rid of it because it's not necessary. If you have, 20 tracks with a lot of dead space happening at the same time, that dead space is not so dead anymore. So you want to get rid of that. So hopefully this video is helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. Take care.